Welcome. We have traveled back through the centuries to stand here tonight, where the jungle breathes with secrets older than memory itself. The air is thick with moisture, and the calls of howler monkeys echo through the canopy above. Around us, limestone pyramids rise through the green darkness, their weathered steps climbing toward a sky, the ancient Maya mapped with precision we can barely comprehend today. This is the heart of Mesoamerica, where one of humanity's most sophisticated civilizations carved its legacy into stone and time. Over the next 7 episodes, we will journey from the very beginning of Maya civilization, when the first farmers cleared patches of rainforest 2,000 years before the Common Era, through the Golden Age when cities like Tikal and Palenque commanded populations rivaling medieval European capitals, to the mysterious collapse that saw these magnificent plazas fall silent and surrender to the encroaching jungle. We will witness divine kings performing bloodletting rituals atop 70-meter pyramids, walk through palace courtyards where scribes recorded history in the only fully developed writing system of the ancient Americas, and stand in observatories where astronomers tracked Venus with accuracy matching modern calculations. This is not just a history lesson. This is a complete journey through time, from the first ceremonial platforms to the Spanish conquest, from agricultural villages to cities of 100,000 souls. What you are about to see shaped our understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and the very nature of time itself. The Maya invented the concept of 0 centuries before it reached Europe. They created calendars tracking celestial cycles spanning millions of years. They built cities that remained hidden under jungle canopy until satellite technology revealed their true scale just decades ago. By the end of this series, you will understand not just what happened here, but how an entire civilization rose from scattered farming communities, achieved scientific breakthroughs that still astonish us today, and ultimately faced a collapse so complete that their greatest cities were swallowed by the forest for 1,000 years. If you enjoy these complete journeys through ancient civilizations, please subscribe so you do not miss our next exploration. Each week, we bring you the full story of a lost world, from foundation to legacy. Let us begin our journey at the very beginning, when the first Maya looked at the stars and decided to count time itself. The jungle breathes in cycles older than memory. Beneath the canopy of the Petén Basin, where rainfall measures 2 meters annually and ceiba trees climb toward fractured sunlight, something shifts around 2000 BCE. Small groups of people stop wandering. They clear patches of forest, burn the undergrowth, and plant seeds in the ash-enriched soil. Maize transforms everything. The wild grass teosinte, with its few hard kernels, becomes through patient selection a cob thick with rows of soft kernels. By 2000 BCE, these domesticated plants sustain permanent villages. Thatched roof houses cluster around central clearings. Women grind maize on stone metates, the rhythmic scraping marking dawn across settlements like Cuello in northern Belize. Squash vines sprawl between maize stalks. Beans climb the corn plants in the milpa system that will feed millions. The earth yields more than food. Clay from riverbanks becomes pottery. Simple bowls at first, then vessels painted with red slip, their surfaces burnished smooth. By 1000 BCE, ceramic traditions distinguish one community from another. Obsidian blades arrive from highland Guatemala, volcanic glass sharper than any local stone. Jade beads from the Motagua Valley appear in burials, green stones traveling hundreds of kilometers along footpaths that will become trade routes connecting distant cities. Population grows. Villages expand into towns. At Nakbe, around 1000 BCE, something unprecedented rises from the forest floor. Workers quarry limestone blocks, stack them into platforms 3 meters high. These are not houses. They face precise cardinal directions. Plaster coats their surfaces brilliant white, visible through the trees. The platforms hold no domestic refuse, only traces of burned offerings, copal resin, pottery shards deliberately broken. Social hierarchy crystallizes in architecture. Some families build larger houses on low platforms. Burials differentiate. Common graves hold simple vessels, but certain tombs contain jade ornaments, elaborate ceramics, obsidian blades. By 400 BCE, the egalitarian villages of earlier centuries have vanished. Chiefs emerge, their authority legitimized through control of ritual knowledge and trade goods. The forest itself becomes a resource managed with precision. Terraced hillsides prevent erosion. Raised fields in seasonal swamps drain excess water while retaining moisture through dry months. Tree crops, avocado, cacao, ramon, supplement maize. The Maya do not conquer the jungle, they negotiate with it, learning which soils regenerate quickly, which trees indicate limestone bedrock suitable for quarrying. At Nakbe, platforms grow taller. By 600 BCE, structures reach 10 meters. Stucco masks flank stairways, early gods with jaguar features and crossed eyes, their symbolism already ancient. The ceremonial center expands, drawing populations from surrounding villages for festivals timed to agricultural cycles. The 260-day Tzolk'in calendar, sacred and divinatory, already structures ritual life. The foundations are laid. In clearings scattered across the Petén and Yucatan, communities plant not just maize, but the seeds of something larger. Cities that will pierce the canopy, calendars that will track millions of years, a civilization that will read the stars while their feet remain planted in jungle soil enriched by ash and time. By 400 BCE, the forest floor trembles under new ambitions. At El Mirador, deep in the Petén's heart, limestone blocks weighing 2 tons each move along Sakbiob. Raised causeways paved white with crushed stone that glow like rivers under moonlight. Thousands of laborers, organized by kinship groups fulfilling seasonal obligations, haul stone from quarries 5 kilometers distant. The city swells beyond anything seen before. La Danta rises in stages. The pyramid's base measures 310 meters on each side. Workers pile rubble cores, then face them with precisely cut blocks fitted without mortar. By 300 BCE, the structure reaches 72 meters, taller than any building in the Americas for a millennium to come. Its volume exceeds the Great Pyramid at Giza. From the summit temple, priests observe Venus rising over unbroken canopy, stretching to horizons measured in days of walking. Stucco masks flank the staircases, each 5 meters tall. Gods emerge from wet plaster shaped by artisans who work in teams, their techniques passed through generations. The principal bird deity spreads wings across one facade, eyes inlaid with obsidian, beak painted red with cinnabar imported from distant highlands. Crossed eyes mark divine vision, the ability to see beyond mortal perception into the realm where time and cosmos intersect. The Tigre complex rises nearby, its own pyramid reaching 55 meters. Between them, plazas paved with limestone accommodate gatherings of tens of thousands. El Mirador's population approaches 100,000 by 200 BCE. a city whose scale will not be matched in the Maya world for centuries. Reservoirs carved into bedrock collect seasonal rains. Terraced fields on surrounding hills feed the urban core. At Nakbe, Tsival, and Tintal, similar transformations unfold. The late pre-classic sees not isolated experiments, but coordinated urban revolution across the Petén. Trade networks carry jade from the Motagua Valley, obsidian from highland Guatemala, marine shells from both coasts. Workshops produce pottery painted with mythological scenes, the hero twins descending into Xibalba, the maize god resurrecting from the earth. Writing crystallizes. Early glyphs appear on pottery and stone by 300 BCE. Royal names, calendar dates, ritual events. At Chiapa de Corzo, a monument carved in 36 BCE records the earliest known long count date, tracking time from a mythical creation in 3114 BCE. The system counts kayens, days, winals, 20 days, tons, 360 days, cartoons, 7,200 days, and baktuns, 144,000 days, in base 20 notation using bars, 5, and dots, 1. A shell glyph represents 0, completion, the void from which creation emerges. Kingship takes form. At Tikal, Yaks Erbzuk establishes a dynasty in the 1st century CE. His name, First Step Shark, will be remembered in texts carved 600 years later. Rulers become Kuhul Arjau, divine lords who mediate between earthly and supernatural realms. Their bloodlines trace to gods. Their rituals, bloodletting, incense burning, vision quests, sustain cosmic order. The cities rise not through conquest, but through sacred authority. Pyramids function as artificial mountains, axis mundi connecting underworld, earth, and sky. Temples crown summits where rulers perform ceremonies visible to populations gathered in plazas below. Architecture becomes theology rendered in stone, each staircase a path to heaven, each mask a god made manifest. By 250 CE, the classic period begins. El Mirador's dominance fades, but its legacy endures. Tikal, Calakmul, and Copan inherit its urban template. The forest holds dozens of cities now, their pyramids breaking the canopy, their plazas hosting rituals that bind communities through shared cosmology. The foundations laid in scattered villages have become mountains of stone, and the calendar keepers have learned to build time itself into architecture that will outlast empires. The stele speak in stone. At Tikal, in 378 CE, carved monuments record the arrival of strangers from Teotihuacan, the distant highland metropolis. Siaj Ka'ak enters the city with warriors bearing atlatls and obsidian blades, technologies foreign to the lowland Maya. Within days, the ruling Kuhul Arjau dies. His son, Yaks Nuun Ahin Famai, ascends wearing Teotihuacan war costume, goggled eyes of the storm god, rectangular shields unknown in Maya tradition. The hieroglyphs name him _0_, but his regalia declares allegiance to powers beyond the forest. This fusion transforms Maya kingship. Divine lords no longer merely intercede with gods, they become gods incarnate. Blood ritual intensifies. Obsidian spines pierce royal tongues, earlobes, genitals. Bark paper collects the sacred fluid, then burns, smoke carrying prayers to ancestors dwelling in the sky. Stele erected every 20 years, katun endings in the long count, display rulers in elaborate headdresses weighing 30 kilograms, jade plaques covering chests, jaguar pelts draped over shoulders. The iconography merges. Maya maize god features blend with Teotihuacan war symbolism. At Copan, 426 CE, Kinich Yaks Kuk Mo founds a dynasty that will rule for 4 centuries. His tomb, discovered beneath the Acropolis, holds jade ornaments and ceramic vessels painted with scenes of the underworld journey. Cinnabar pigment, mercuric sulfide ground from distant mines, coats the burial chamber walls in blood red. The body lies oriented to cardinal directions, head north towards the celestial realm. Above, his successors build 16 temples in succession, each encasing the previous structure like nested dolls of devotion. Palanque emerges from humid hills where 9 rivers converge. In 615 CE, Kinich Janab Pakal ascends at age 12. His reign will span 68 years, longer than any contemporary European monarch. The palace complex grows under his command. Corbel vaulted rooms surrounding courtyards, stucco reliefs showing captives bound and humiliated. A 4-story tower unique in Maya architecture rising to observe solstice sunsets. Hieroglyphic texts carved into limestone panels trace his genealogy back through 13 generations, legitimizing power through ancestral connection. Pakal's tomb, constructed within the Temple of Inscriptions, descends through 9 levels, the layers of Xibalba, the underworld. The sarcophagus lid, 5 tons of limestone, depicts the king at the moment of death, falling into the jaws of the earth monster, the world tree rising from his body towards the celestial bird. Jade mosaic masks cover his face, 200 pieces fitted to recreate divine features. Cinnabar dusts everything, preserving flesh for the journey ahead. The North Acropolis at Tikal becomes an acropolis of kings. Burial 10 holds Yaks Nun Ahin I with Teotihuacan ceramics and sacrificed retainers. Burial 48 contains Siaj Chan Kawil II, interred in 456 CE beneath Temple 33, surrounded by stingray spines for bloodletting and ceramic vessels filled with cacao, currency for the afterlife. Each tomb anchors a temple above, creating vertical connections between underworld ancestors and living rulers performing ceremonies on summits. Hieroglyphic stairways record histories in stone. At Copan, 63 steps carry 2,500 glyphs, the longest Maya text, documenting wars, alliances, ritual performances spanning 2 centuries. Scribes carve in low relief, each glyph block a semantic unit, combining logograms and syllabic signs. The writing flows in paired columns, read left to right, top to bottom, encoding royal names, calendar dates, verb phrases describing cosmic events. By 600 CE, dozens of city-states flourish, each ruled by a Kuhul Ajar, whose authority derives from divine ancestry and ritual performance. The forest canopy breaks under pyramid summits, where incense burns and blood flows, maintaining cosmic order through sacred kingship. The forest holds its breath when empires collide. In 562 CE, warriors from Calakmul descend upon Tikal like a storm breaking over the canopy. Sky Witness, the Snake Kingdom's Kuhul Ajau, commands forces that overwhelm Tikal's defenses in what hieroglyphs will record as a _0_, cosmic conflict manifesting in earthly violence. Obsidian-tipped spears pierce cotton armor. Atlatls launch darts across plazas where incense once burned peacefully. The attack shatters Tikal's century of dominance, toppling monuments and silencing the city's voice in stone. For 130 years, Tikal erects no new stelae. The silence screams across generations. Calakmul, 60 kilometers north through dense jungle, rises as the superpower of the Maya world. Its rulers forge alliances through marriage and tribute, building a network of subordinate cities. Dos Pilas, founded by Tikal's own exiled nobility, becomes Calakmul's southern stronghold, a dagger pointed at its mother city's heart. The Snake Kingdom's emblem glyph appears on monuments from Piedras Negra to Caracol, marking territories bound by warfare and ritual obligation. Fortifications multiply. Cities that once sprawled openly now huddle behind defensive walls of limestone, rubble, and earth. At Tikal, construction crews raise barriers around the ceremonial core, transforming sacred space into fortress. Ball courts continue hosting games where rubber balls weighing 4 kilograms slam against sloping stone walls, cosmic battles between day and night, life and death, played out through athletic proxies. But now the stakes extend beyond ritual. Losing cities send captives to victors' plazas. Carved lintels depict the aftermath. At Yaxchilan, rulers stand over bound prisoners, their arms twisted behind backs, hair grasped in victorious fists. Stone panels show captives stripped of regalia, their names and titles inscribed in glyphs that immortalize their humiliation. Some kneel before thrones, others sprawl on steps, awaiting sacrifice that will feed the gods and legitimize conquest. In 695 CE, the balance shifts. Jasachan Kawil I, Tikal's ruler, defeats Calakmul's Yuknum Yichak Kak in battle. Hieroglyphs record the Snake Lord's capture with clinical precision. Date, location, verb phrases describing his binding and presentation. Tikal's silence ends. Within years, construction resumes on a scale unseen for generations. Temple 1 rises 47 meters above the Great Plaza, its 9 tiers representing levels of the underworld. Its summit shrine housing Jasor Chan Kawil's eventual tomb. The pyramid's steep profile pierces the canopy, visible for kilometers, announcing Tikal's resurrection in limestone and defiance. The numbers speak across centuries in bars and dots. On stelae throughout the Maya world, scribes carve dates using a system elegant in its precision. A horizontal bar represents 5. A dot marks 1. A shell glyph, smooth, curved, empty, signifies 0, a concept European mathematicians will not embrace for another 600 years. By the 4th century CE, Maya astronomers employ this placeholder to calculate spans of time that dwarf human lifetimes, tracking cosmic cycles with base 20 positional notation that allows them to express millions with combinations of 20 symbols. The long count begins on a date corresponding to August 11th, 3114 BCE in the Gregorian calendar, a mythological creation point when the gods set the current world in motion. From this anchor, every subsequent moment receives coordinates: Baktuns of 144,000 days, Katuns of 7,200 days, Tuns of 360 days, Winals of 20 days, Kins marking single sunrises. A stela at Quirigua records 9.17.0.0.0, December 16th, 775 CE, with mathematical certainty, positioning that moment within an unbroken chain, stretching back through 1,385,540 days. The system's precision transforms time from fluid experience into measurable architecture. Venus obsesses the astronomers. From pyramid summits and palace rooftops, they track the morning star's appearances and disappearances with instruments simple yet effective. Crossed sticks aligned to horizon points, sight lines marked on building corners, patient observation spanning generations. The Dresden Codex, painted on bark paper sometime between 1000 and 1200 CE but preserving earlier knowledge, contains tables calculating Venus's synodic period at 584 days. Modern measurements yield 583.92 days, an error of mere hours across decades of observation. At Uxmal, the governor's palace sits aligned to Venus's southernmost rising point. At Chichen Itza, the Caracol circular tower contains window shafts positioned to frame Venus at specific positions in its cycle. These are not decorative choices. Agricultural rituals, warfare campaigns, royal ceremonies, all synchronize to celestial movements. When Venus appears as morning star after 58 days of invisibility, the moment carries significance, requiring mathematical prediction months in advance. The calendars interlock like gears. The 260-day Tzolk'in, 13 numbers cycling through 20-day names, meshes with the 365-day Hab of 18 months plus 5 unlucky days. Every 52 years, the same Tzolk'in-Hab combination returns, an event marked by ceremonies of renewal and fire. But the long count transcends these cycles, measuring spans of 5,125 years before resetting. A Baktun 13 complete, a new creation beginning. Eclipse predictions demonstrate astronomical sophistication bordering on uncanny. The Dresden Codex's eclipse tables track the 177-day intervals when conditions allow lunar eclipses, accounting for the moon's nodal regression with accuracy matching modern calculations. Scribes record not just when eclipses occur, but their duration, visibility, and ritual significance. A total lunar eclipse on October 14, 744 CE, predicted and observed at Copan, appears in hieroglyphic texts with terminology distinguishing partial from total obscuration. In palace courtyards, scribes grind mineral pigments, carbon black from soot, red from hematite, blue from indigo, and palygorskite clay. They paint codices on bark paper prepared from fig trees, coating surfaces with lime gesso, folding pages accordion style. The books contain astronomical tables, ritual almanacs, prophecies tied to calendar cycles. Of thousands once existing, 4 survive Spanish bonfires: Dresden, Madrid, Paris, Grolier. The rest burn in 1562 at Mani, where Bishop Diego de Landa orders their destruction as works of the devil, erasing libraries of accumulated knowledge. The mathematics enables architecture. Corbel arches spanning palace rooms require calculating load distribution. Pyramid volumes demand workforce estimates and construction timelines. The Castillo at Chichen Itza contains 91 steps on each of 4 sides, plus the top platform, 365 total, matching the solar year. During equinoxes, afternoon sun creates a serpent shadow descending the northern staircase, 7 triangles of light marking the feathered serpent's body. This is not accident, but calculation. Geometry serving cosmology, stone transformed into calendar. The silence arrives first. At Palenque in 799 CE, stonemasons set down their tools mid-carving, leaving a monument incomplete. The hieroglyphs end mid-sentence, recording a Khatun ceremony that will never finish. No explanation appears in the stone. The workshops grow quiet. Within a generation, the palace courtyards where Kinich Janab Pakal once ruled stand empty, their Corbel vaulted rooms sheltering only bats and the slow creep of moss across painted stucco. Lake Chichankanab holds the evidence in its sediments. Gypsum layers accumulate between 810 and 910 CE, each stratum marking years when water levels dropped so low that calcium sulfate crystallized from the concentrated brine. The drought persists not for seasons but decades, a century-long failure of the rains that once measured 2 meters annually. Reservoirs at Tikal, engineered to capture runoff from plastered plaza surfaces, reveal their limestone bottoms. The aguadas, natural sinkholes providing drinking water, shrink to muddy pools. Farmers watch their milpa fields wither, the maize stalks browning before producing ears. The warfare intensifies as resources contract. At Dos Pilas, defensive walls rise hastily around the city core in 760 CE, constructed from stones torn from temple facades and palace buildings. The population abandons outlying neighborhoods, retreating behind fortifications that repurpose sacred architecture as military necessity. Similar walls appear at Yaxchilan, at Piedras Negra, at sites throughout the Petén. The stelae carved during these final decades depict captives more frequently than cosmic ritual, bound prisoners kneeling before victorious lords who claim divine mandate even as their cities starve. The trade networks fracture. Obsidian from highland Guatemala ceases arriving at lowland workshops. Jade ornaments disappear from elite burials. The long-distance exchange systems that once moved cacao, salt, and precious feathers between coast and interior collapse when no surplus exists to trade. At Copan, the last dated monument appears in 822 CE. At Quirigua, construction stops in 810 CE. At Caracol, the final stela goes up in 859 CE. The pattern repeats across the southern lowlands, a cascade of silence as city after city ceases recording time in stone. Skeletal remains from terminal classic burials show the physical toll. Bone analysis reveals porotic hyperostosis, lesions indicating chronic anemia from malnutrition. Growth arrest lines in teeth mark periods of severe nutritional stress during childhood. Average height decreases, infant mortality rises. The populations that once numbered 100,000 at Tikal dwindle to scattered villages, then to nothing. By 950 CE, the great plaza where Jasor Chan Kowil the first built temple, the first stands abandoned, its limestone surfaces already darkening with algae, strangler figs taking root in cracks between blocks. The forest returns with patient inevitability. Roots penetrate plaza paving. Saplings emerge from roof combs. Within decades, the canopy closes over pyramid summits. Howler monkeys inhabit palace rooms where scribes once painted codices. The Sac-Biob, raised limestone roads connecting cities, disappear beneath leaf litter and new growth. At Calakmul, trees grow from the summits of pyramids, their roots slowly dismantling what took centuries to build. The collapse is not universal. In northern Yucatan, where cenotes provide reliable water even during drought, cities like Chichen Itza and Uxmal continue thriving. The population shifts northward, abandoning the southern lowlands where rainfall agriculture sustained millions. At Tonina, in 909 CE, the final long count date of the Classic period appears carved in stone, marking the end of an era that began 6 centuries earlier. The calendar continues, but the cities that perfected it fall silent, their plazas becoming archaeological puzzles for future generations to decipher. The northern cities endure where the southern kingdoms fell. At Chichen Itza, the Castillo Pyramid rises in 9 terraces representing the levels of the underworld, its 4 staircases totaling 365 steps, one for each day of the Harb calendar. Twice yearly, at the spring and autumn equinoxes, The afternoon sun casts triangular shadows down the northern staircase, creating the illusion of a serpent descending from the temple summit to the stone serpent heads at the base. Thousands gather to witness this astronomical alignment, a demonstration of knowledge preserved through the collapse. The knowledge survives in fragments. In highland Guatemala, the Popol Vuh, the Maya creation epic, passes through generations in oral tradition until transcribed in the 16th century using Latin script. 4 codices escape the flames of Spanish conquest: the Dresden Codex with its Venus tables, the Madrid Codex recording rituals and ceremonies, the Paris Codex showing cartoon prophecies, and the Grolier Codex with its astronomical calculations. Bishop Diego de Landa burns hundreds of others in Mani in 1562, destroying millennia of accumulated wisdom in a single afternoon. Yet the Maya do not vanish. In 1697, Spanish forces finally conquer Nojpeten, the last independent Maya city on Lake Petén Itzá, ending nearly 2 centuries of resistance. But in highland villages and remote forest communities, the 260-day Tzolk'in calendar continues its unbroken count. Daykeepers, AJ, QOJ, and Quiché Maya, still divine auspicious dates for planting, marriage, and ceremony using methods unchanged since classic times. The stones begin speaking again in the 20th century. In 1952, Soviet linguist Yuri Knorosov demonstrates that Maya hieroglyphs represent both sounds and meanings, unlocking texts that scholars had considered undecipherable. Suddenly, the carved monuments reveal their secrets: royal genealogies, warfare accounts, astronomical observations, mythological narratives. The anonymous builders acquire names: Kinich Janab Pakal, Jasau Chan Kawil I, Lady Six Sky. The silent ruins become historical documents. Today, 6 million people speak Maya languages across Guatemala, Mexico, Belize, and Honduras. In Santiago Atitlan, Tzutujil Maya maintained ceremonies honoring Maximon, a deity blending pre-Columbian and Catholic traditions. In Yucatan villages, women weave textiles using backstrap looms identical to those depicted in classic period murals. The agricultural calendar still follows Venus cycles and solar alignments observed from pyramid summits 1,000 years ago. The abandoned cities draw millions of visitors annually, their limestone temples now UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Tikhal's Temple 4 still rises above the jungle canopy. Palanca's palace overlooks the same forested hills where Pakal once ruled. The hieroglyphs carved in 615 CE remain legible, their messages preserved in stone while empires rose and fell around them. The calendar keepers left behind more than ruins. They left a civilization whose mathematical precision, astronomical knowledge, and artistic achievement continue inspiring wonder, proving that some legacies outlast even the mightiest kingdoms. Thank you for journeying through the complete story of Maya civilization with us. Subscribe to explore more ancient worlds brought back to life through history and archaeology.